So last night I was at the CIPR Excellence Awards 2026 and it was a good night. I really enjoyed myself. I was suited and booted, I was looking good. I was feeling good. I was around good people. It was a good night. It was a good vibe. And what I'm gonna do actually, I'm gonna include the video of me because I presented a award on the night. And it's my second time doing it, matter of fact. It's my second time. So, for context, if you are not aware, I was a judge this year for one of the categories, and I was last year as well. So I was so good. They asked me to do it again, and I said, you know what, if you insist, now I'm playing. It was an opportunity where, yeah, they reached back out to me saying if I was interested, and yeah, I'm always interested because, PR for me is a amazing discipline. It's taught me so much, and I'm always in the process of learning and developing and refining my skills, of course. But I owe a lot to the industry. I owe a lot to the discipline of PR, the whole aspect of incorporating PR into your life, and the whole aspect of PR has been a very strong foundation in terms of how I work with clients when it comes down to the aspects of building brand authority. So I owe a lot to the industry, the discipline, the work, and it's just inspiring. It's inspiring to see so many agencies, so many independent practitioners doing amazing work and just being in a room inspired by everyone. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a privilege. So the reason why I'm even telling you this is because I was just having, conversations with various different people, new people, old friends, old colleagues, and it got to the conversation of AI. And whenever it gets to a conversation about AI, I'm always going to have a conversation. I'm always going to find a way to get involved in the conversation. And I suppose there were two things that were quite interesting. And the first thing is that a lot of us talk about AI, but interestingly, the sort of skill gap with everyone is so varied. That's the first thing. The skill gap between the aspects of people who utilize AI every day, those who use it all the time, those who use it religiously, like myself, I would say. There's so many different various skill gaps involved with the aspects of AI, and it's always developing, it's always growing, and you know, it's just something you have to keep up with. And for me, I'm very, I would argue, passionate about the aspects of AI even more so now, and how you can incorporate that within your business and refine your systems to just make everything as seamless and efficient as possible to buy back your time. Essentially, it's changed the game in terms of how it can buy back your time. And secondly, there are so many various different tools out there that many people are just not privy to the tools that are available. Like, honestly, I was speaking about Whisperflow to everyone, and everyone was like, what's Whisperflow? So, Whisperflow, if you're watching this, hook me up, man, hook me up. I talk about your stuff all the time. You do amazing stuff right now. But the whole point of this video, anyway, let me just get straight into it, is that with the aspects of AI, and I think that's the one thing that is important to even mention, is context is important. Context is incredibly important in the world of AI because, as mentioned with the idea of the skill gap, there are going to be people who will treat ChatGPT or even Claude like Google. They will search particular sort of results or search for things as you would for Google and then just go about their day. But then when you get to the aspects of learning how you are able to incorporate data, your intellectual property, your methodologies, your frameworks, your insights, when you are in a position where you are then able to use all of those things as context to present to the AI, it will supercharge everything in your life. It will supercharge absolutely everything. And I'm telling you this because I'm in the process myself. And, you know, I'm very big on the aspects of intellectual property, owning your intellectual property, having a framework and a methodology that you live by, that you can showcase, teach people, you know, build it into a package that just makes the most sense for you to grow and build into something bigger than yourself. That is what I'm building with the Phases brand authority system. I've built it to be such a beast that it is intellectual property that I own, that I can build up into something that will be a multi-million pound IP in the grand scheme of things. Like honestly, but then to get to that point, you have to understand the importance of the context. And when you start to feed the AI context, it helps a lot. So when I talk about the idea of having your SOPs together in business, your standard operating procedures, you can use those SOPs and install them within the AI tools that you use in order to streamline everything. You no longer need to go through the admin process of having to create a whole new onboarding document from scratch, or going through the whole process of developing the sort of weekly or bi-weekly meeting agendas all the time. You don't have to do that anymore. If you have the context of what you do and why you do it, all those things allow you to build and amplify where it takes less time to do, so you can focus on the implementation part and the strategy. There will be a time where we will not need to do any form of admin, because we will have agents and we'll have AI being able to do it for us. Our main responsibility is putting ourselves forward as strategists who can really move the needle with our thoughts and our way of working. That is the one thing that AI cannot take away from us. Strategists who are able to really see through the lines and look through with a deeper lens to acknowledge what can be done to improve on the process. You can use AI to supercharge and superpower the things that you're doing. You can also incorporate meetings. Like honestly, if you are in business, you should be recording your meetings. You should be recording your meetings because that is context. That is context to showcase what is going on. Whether it comes down to a meeting that you have with a client or whether you are having a sales call, have those meetings documented where you can record it and use the transcripts. And then when you get in the process where you can automate the process where the notes are taken, right? The notes are taken, they are included based on your AI tools. You provide the actions, the follow-up based on that, and you are able to have a whole automated process where everything is done without you having to do anything. All you really need to do is sense check it at the end and send it across to the client. Or even in a sales process, you being able to incorporate the transcripts and really going deep into the reasons as to why they picked you, why they said that they're happy to work with you, why they said that they're not ready, all the objections that were presented in the call. You using that information as context, right? Even from an objection handling process, you can put all of this information and context into AI to then develop a list of various different objection handling techniques off the back of what the regular sort of objections you are more likely to face based on the conversations you are having. You are then able to produce content as a way to handle those objections before they even become a thing on the call. So you have naturally preempted the idea that there will be someone that will have this objection, and you automatically have content, i.e., maybe video content per se, where you can send it directly to them based on that same frequent objection that you have had to deal with. And then now you found a way to resolve it. It just makes your sales process a lot more smooth. And then even if we talk about the ideas of transcripts, I talk about transcripts all the time because I always say that for me is gold. For me, there's nothing better at this moment in time than transcripts. Being able to record yourself and really get to the point where the AI understands you based on everything that you have to share, right? And being able to use, tools like Whisperflow, right? I rarely type anymore. I rarely type. More often than not, I'm always talking to my PC. It may sound crazy if you are watching this, but if you are aware of the process, then you know. If you know, you know. But there's so much ways you can incorporate the AI. You just need to figure out how it fits into your life and your world. Focus on using it for simple admin tasks in the meantime. Learn how to improve on that. Then get to the process of learning how to automate and how to get things done, right? All these things are things that we are in a prime position to use and supercharge and superpower everything that we are doing in our lives. And when it comes down to branding, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole new discussion that we will have, right? Because I'm going to be doing a lot more AI content infused with the aspects of the branding part, because there's so many things that I do that I think everyone else knows, but they just don't. And that's what this channel is for me to showcase and document and show you how you can do these things. So you are then able to be more equipped for you to build a level of brand authority to take things to a whole new level. Context is important. Context is everything. And when you start to think of that from the lens of AI, there is nothing you won't be able to do. There is nothing that you won't be able to do, because the AI has the power alone, but through the level of context, it's even more powerful. And, it can be a whole nother sort of discussion in terms of the privacy issues and all those particular things. What I would say on that is, do not be someone who is willing to share confidential information with these AI tools. Unless you are building a AI sort of hub or terminal within your own server, don't be speaking about anything remotely confidential. That's one thing I'll tell you as a fact. With all the context sharing that I do with AI, I do not share anything confidential, because that part is just something I'm just not comfortable with at this particular point in life. I would say, to be honest with you, I'm a big advocate for AI, as you know, but then there are the limitations that I feel is best to use it in a more efficient, effective way, rather than sort of putting yourself in a dangerous position where you can be exploited based on the fact that you can do so much with it. So that's it. That's it for this video. Please, if you are not familiar with how you are able to incorporate context into AI to supercharge everything around you, drop a comment below. I'll do more videos on this. I will do lives. I need to go on live as well. I need to do some live sessions. So with all these things in mind, if you are interested, let me know and I'll do more videos. But honestly speaking, context is everything. All you need to do is figure out how you are able to position the context and implement it into your AI systems in a way to supercharge your brand and supercharge your life. So on that note, that's it from me. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.